So today we have Paul-Francois Cattier from Schneider Electric. He is the Global VP for Data Centers. Welcome, Paul. It's good to speak to you. First of all, tell us a little bit about yourself and about your company.
Well, Schneider Electric is a 22 billion euro company, operating in more than 100 countries. And our mission is really to help our customers all over the world to make the most of their energy. So we are looking for the main segment who are consuming energy, like utilities, like industry, like a complex building or like residential and data center. I'm in charge of making this happening in the data center market all over the world. And we have also the specificity to be very much exposed in emerging countries. More than 40% of our revenue is in emerging countries, where we see a lot of opportunity also for data center.
Okay, thank you very much. I've got some questions for you today. First of all, the first one is, how important is data center infrastructure management, commonly known as DCIM, approach in achieving energy efficiency?
Well, you know, you will never work for a company doing a lot of sales without a CRM, or you will never enter a company which is having a lot of factory and don't use an ERP system. Right. You will not work in a human resource department of a company without a human resource management software and so on. And data center is certainly one of the most complex systems that you have, and they need to have their ERP for the data center, which is the DCIM. It's so important in the way to manage efficiently a data center that we should first choose and pick up your data center infrastructure management tools, strategy, processes, before even starting to think about the architecture of your data center.
Okay. And also, what difference do you think cloud services will make to energy efficiency in terms of requirements of the data center?
Well, first, cloud computing is about mutualization of the IT resources. And so it's very good to bring efficiency in energy for how much computing power you have and you have to use, because you can mutualize it and so on. But it has also some impact on the complexity of the data center, because when you are using cloud services and virtualization of application, your data center infrastructure will be confronted to very large swing of the IT load and of the IT power, and very high variation of the hot points in your data center. So you will have some power issue to solve due to the cloud computing. You will have some cooling issues to solve due to the cloud computing that start to be very complex and requires a data center infrastructure management very precise to be able to deal in an automatic way with all these issues.
Okay, and do you see that happening now with because cloud services is relatively young and it's maturing as time goes on?
Well, it's really now that we have the cloud. Okay. What is interesting is the adoption of the cloud is twice faster in emerging countries than it is in mature countries, because they don't have any legacy applications. So they are going very quickly to the cloud computing, but it's happening now. And anyway, when you are building a data center for 20 years, you can be sure that your data center will host cloud services.
Absolutely. Okay. We also see the build out of so-called massively modular data centers. Do you see modular data centers as the new standard for facilities?
Well, a new standard for data center, for facility, I don't know, but for data center, clearly, you know, there is several issues that we have to cope in the data center industry. First, there is high growth of the demand with the data generated and so on that are growing like crazy. So you need to be able to scale up very quickly, very rapidly your data center. Okay. And the modularity is a very good way to scale up. Then you have an issue with the time to deployment, because it requires a lot of capex. You need to get the return on investment very quickly. If you have to wait 12 months of construction and so on, the return on investment is not good. Between the time you have to invest your capex and the time you start to get some return on investment and so on. So you need to reduce this and count by weeks instead of counting by months. And here again, the modular architecture is the best way to reduce the time to market and the time to construction. Then you have to understand that the uncertainty has increased a lot about the future, because before, 10 years ago, you were doing data center based on fixed assumption you were doing for the next 10 years. Of course, everybody was wrong about this assumption. And now the uncertainty is even bigger because you have this uncertainty on the energy.
Sure.
When after the Fukushima effect, some countries are going out of the nuclear, renewable is coming, the grid start to be very unstable, the energy price
Sure.
are increasing a lot, and so you need to be able to be very flexible and adapt your data center in the future to something you don't even know what it will be. And
Sure.
the fact to be modular will help you to adapt your data center to the different possible scenarios that will occur in the future.
Good. And finally, what do you enjoy most about coming to these events?
Well, you know, I was really pushing for this event to move out from London and to start to be really European, and for this to be in Nice. So we did the first one, it was under a tent, I remember 3 years ago in Sofia Antipolis. We were 250 people. Today it's a very mature event, 850 attendees, very high quality presentation, very high quality speakers. Most of the CEO of our industry from all over the world, not just Europe, are coming here. So it's very, very mature event, and certainly it's one of the most famous of our industry.
Good, thank you. So thank you, Paul-Francois, for your time today, and enjoy the rest of the event.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.